hand it over to him now, and he'll let us know what's going on with the important parts of the project. Are you there, Herman?
Thank you, Owen, and thank you for filling in last week. Sadly, it was unavailable, but I was unavailable for good reasons and good reasons specific to Cherry. Now, last week I went on a set of meetings that were arranged over the past few months to try to lift up the sorts of Cherry. Of course, things haven't been going very well. This is in part, I wouldn't say planned, but intentional, as in we haven't invested as much as we perhaps could have, or perhaps our competitors are, simply as a reflection of our perception of where the market is going. Of course, we don't have the funds, we don't have the capabilities, both capital-wise and competency-wise, to preempt the market, to try to see where the market is going ahead of time and push it, or try to change and make Cherry be this online bastion where everything else is going in a parallel downward trend. We don't have that capability, and indeed it was partly intentional. It continues to be partly intentional. There's a lackluster business development for sure, and lacking and lagging in other facets of our DAO's mission. And for the major part, it is unintentional, because though we as a management team, as the stewards of the project, try to respond and reflect very intentionally on the state of the industry, the state of the economy, the market appetite for various projects we might host. We are still nonetheless observers of broader market dynamics that are fully beyond our grasp and control. So not quite to thwart these two components, the unintentional aspect and the intentional response, but maybe to continue to push within this reduced budget, this reduced capital and competency expenditure that we have planned and that we'll continue to implement for the near future. We've met a variety of stakeholders, both formerly interested, still interested, and now newly interested in Cherry, its ecosystem, and developing applications on top of it. In particular, I can mention a quite serious partnership we have going on with the OEM. These are mobile sets producers, and though it's a bit premature to discuss how exactly we will cooperate in some way, I can't say partner, I can't say anything more specific. Of course, I don't want to then betray expectations. We have a strong reciprocal intention of investing in one another, and they in particular want, in spite perhaps of the various unintentional components that led to Cherry's lagging performance, as I was discussing earlier, still invest in the industry and align themselves with the potential future growth that both they and we see. I will say that their plan is to both build on top of Cherry, fork other aspects of Cherry, and run their own, say, parachain, sidechain, things of the sort, by our interoperability capabilities, and then have a variety of proprietary and cooperative projects beside and beyond, which may or may not include the existing flagships projects that we already discussed at length, Seedling, Cherish, and perhaps Unigate. But it is premature to discuss all that. It was just a mere reflection of last week was not spent. I didn't forget about you guys. Perhaps I did, but it was in the context of doing something for the benefit of the community. There are many unanswered questions. I'll try to address them quickly. The bridge was the primary concern after the EVM release. The bridge from, let's call it that, Cherry network into the token abstractions currently on BNB chain and Polygon, it will be released this week. A minor upgrade to the bridge was also performed earlier yesterday, and that should hopefully resolve any caching issue that had affected a small but still vocal percentage or significant percentage of people who perform bridge backs from BSC Polygon into Cherry network. Let me know. Try and test it out yourself. But Boer, I think, was talking to the community about this issue, and as he was talking and reflecting about it, came up with a solution, and there it is, implemented just a few short hours after. The EVM compatibility parachain on mainnet is fully operational. It has been for several weeks. We are mostly on time, timeline-wise. Of course, we do need to update the one that's hosted on track.cherry.network. I think that's the link. But as far as the one that's most updated and the one that I've been sharing by voice here in AMA's weekly, I hope we haven't gone or broken anybody's timeline expectation. We mostly maybe a few days off, maybe 1 or 2 weeks off, kept the words, the promises made, and if not, at least justified why additional steps were made to secure the network, prolong the bug bounty, and to take additional precautions before upgrading essential and vital infrastructure to the Cherry network and community. Going forward, hopefully we'll see some of these small but continuous business development pushes come to fruition in one way or another. I do hope to have something more concrete to share with the team, with the community, in the coming weeks. But once the bridge is fully open, so both the bridge back and the bridge from, both routes are open, I think we'll, as a team, partake of some market operations. We foresee a fluctuation of the price and of volume as stakeholders enter or exit the previously controlled supply of both BNB network Cherry tokens and the Cherry token native to the Cherry relay chain. More information about that will maybe be shared by chat. We'll try not to share too much information, but rather inform you guys as we take actions or after we have done. This is so that people cannot take advantage of these measures that we put in place to secure, to some extent, the token from excessive fluctuations and reduction or extreme increases in trading volumes that may further deteriorate the trading context of Cherry. It is not quite our job, but given the opportunity and given that specifically this bridge action, this bridge upgrade does vary the supply and tokenomics significantly, we have taken upon ourselves to perform certain actions that, again, I don't feel comfortable sharing now, simply because other people can listen to my words and see, oh yeah, well, if we preempt, if we do the same thing but before, we can buy the tokens and then sell them for a greater price to the team, since they've set certain guarantees, certain price guarantees. We do none of that. We don't guarantee price. Cherry tokens is fully tradable on large and completely independent platforms, and we keep it as that way as possible, as much as possible. However, we have a mandate preserving the bounty, the attractiveness of the Cherry trading venues broadly, and thus, as we perform as a team an action which is the bridge upgrade, which everybody knows about, but still other people may take advantage of it before others. Some people may access and perform before others. We do want to try and level the playing field and control this variation in supply as much as possible to restore order and free market operations as quickly as possible once the moment glitch of immense variance in volume or in supply rather is complete, and everybody is aware of the immediate nature of the bridging in and bridging out operations. With that, I thank you all. If you have any other questions, I'll be happy to answer them by chat. I'll try to catch up by on any messages sent in chat, and I hope to speak to you all next week. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Herman. That was very informative, as always, and quite encouraging. And I think the community are encouraged when they're reminded that there are steady hands directing the ship of the project, and that a lot is going on in the background. It might seem at times that there aren't many updates forthcoming, but that's because in some ways that's a better sign, because it means the team are quite busy, especially the founders, with the business development and technical development of the project, and that good things are coming. I think there was a lot of very promising things mentioned by Herman there. It is, of course, my role to try and make that information as accessible as possible. So I will right away get to transcribing and kind of editing and collating Herman's words so that it is more digestible or as digestible as possible for the those of you whose first language isn't English, or if you just didn't have a chance to tune in. So I'll try and have that out in a few hours, maybe by let's say 8 p.m. UTC. Otherwise, John is going to proceed with the quiz now. And during the week, we'll talk about more of the other things, peripheral things going on in the background of the project. It's quite noisy where I am now, so I won't do that at the moment. But we will be chatting to you in the Telegram group and on Discord over the next couple of days. And we'll have a bigger update on some of the business things next week, next Wednesday at the same AMA. Okay, guys, I'll leave it there. I'll leave you with John. Thank you, Herman, for joining us. And John will proceed with the quiz now. Thank you very much.